Hey friends, Becky here. So, have you guys ever found yourself in so much debt you don't know where to start? That's how we were. And I'm going to show you a plan on how to get out of debt. So that is what we are going to be discussing today. Okay? The plan that I followed was Dave Ramsey. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard about him. He's on YouTube, he's got a radio, he's got obviously books, and he's got a plan called Financial Freedom, Financial Peace University. That's what it is, on how to get out of debt. Now, this book here, if you're in debt, don't go buy it. You don't need to spend the money on it. This book here cost $24.99. I paid 20 cents for it. Now, you can get it for free from the library. Check it out, get yourself a library card, read the book, okay? But if you don't want to read the book, you can go on YouTube. He's got videos. He's got people who are getting out of debt and do their debt-free scream and stuff. And that's what kept me motivated on getting out of debt when we had like over $100,000 to pay off. So, and I'll talk about that some other time. Right now, I just want to talk about the baby steps, okay? So, baby step number 1 is save $1,000, okay? That is going to be your emergency money in case something comes up. And believe me, something is going to come up. You know, your pet might get sick. You might have a car expense that comes up. Anything, any kind of expense, okay? Now, it's not a lot, obviously, it's only $1,000, but most people don't even have that in their savings. A lot of people don't even have $400 for an emergency, okay? Step 2, pay off debt, okay? Now, there are different ways of paying off debt, okay? Some people have the debt snowball, which is Dave Ramsey, and then there's also an avalanche method, which is where you pay off the one that has the highest, like a credit card with the highest interest rate. So if you have a credit card that is 26% and you owe $5,000 on it, and you have a bill that is with the bank and it's only at 10% and you only owe $2,000, you would do the higher interest rate one first. That is the debt avalanche. That's not what Dave Ramsey says. He has what is called the debt snowball, where you line them all up and you take the smallest one first. That is what we did. Now, the reason we did this is because it gives momentum, obviously like a snowball, and also when you see those debts getting paid off, it motivates you. It's something to do with your brain. It motivates you to keep going, okay? So, step number 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now, this is your true emergency fund, okay? So you started with just $1,000. That was just to get you through as you were paying off your debt. Now, your debts are now paid off. You are now on baby step number 3, saving 3 to 6 months of expenses. So you calculate all of what your expenses would be, your rent, your utilities, gas, no bills, obviously, but maybe if you want to put in a little bit of like clothes money and stuff like that, you know, just basics to get through. Like if you were to get hurt on the job or you were to lose your job. Now, COVID got a lot of people, okay? A lot of people did not have any type of savings and it hurt them, okay? So this is why 3 to 6 months of expenses, emergency money. This is not money that you play around with. This is not your Christmas fund money. This is emergency only. So if you've got birthdays coming up, you've got Christmas coming up, you want to buy a new car, that's a different savings, okay? Those are called sinking funds. That is not your emergency savings. Emergency is emergency. You didn't know it was coming up, now it's here, but you've got the money to take care of it, okay? All right, number 4, invest 15% of your income, okay? So you now have your emergency money, okay? Now you can really start to build your wealth. You start putting 15% of your total income into retirement, okay? And he says 15%. Some people say you should do a little bit more, but if you've got a 401k, put what you can, put at least what they match. what your company matches, and then you can always go with the Roth or something else if you don't like the plans that your company has. But you want to at least invest that, because they're going to give you dollar for dollar up to a certain percentage, and then you can put it somewhere else where, like I said, you like their funds better. And yeah, like I said, we'll talk about all of this later. But I just want to give y'all the steps, okay? Step number 5, save for college. If you've got kids, you want to save for their college. You want them to be in a position where they can graduate from college debt-free, okay? Now, if you have no kids, then obviously you don't need to worry about this. If you have kids and you don't want to pay for their college, well, that's on you. You can do that. But have them pay for some of it, okay? They've got to have a little bit of money in the game in order for them to get their grades up. Number 6, pay off your house. Pay it off early. You've got a 30-year mortgage, don't take 30 years to pay it off. If you can pay it off early, pay it off. You don't want to be retirement age and you still have this mortgage over your head, okay? Pay it off early. Number 7 is build wealth, okay? Now this is where he talks about live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. This is the part where you're building wealth so that you can be a blessing to somebody else, so that if a family member needs help with something, you have the money, you can give it to them. If you if you see someone in your church and they need help with their utility bills, you can give it to them. You're at the checkout line and someone doesn't have enough to pay for their groceries, pay a couple of dollars for their groceries. You have the money. You can do this now, okay? Just as you're guided to help out, you can do this. Some people will do it as a loan, but don't expect it back. That is the quickest way to lose family and friends, is to loan them money, okay? Loan them money and see if they don't quit calling you, they don't quit coming around, because they're gonna feel bad because they owe you money. Just give it as a gift, okay? Give it as a gift. Don't give it to someone who is out there drugging and not willing to work, obviously, because they're not going to utilize the funds properly. But if they honestly need help and they are trying to get their life together, they're doing everything they can, but they just had a bad month, help them out, okay? So those are the 7 steps. What were they again? Save $1,000. Number 2, pay off debt. Number 3, save 3 to 6 months expenses. Number 4, invest 15% of your income. 5 was save for college. 6 was pay off your house early. And 7 was build wealth. Okay? Later on, we'll talk a little bit more in depth on how to kind of do these things and stuff. And, I'll show you some of the budget plans that he has on his book. In the back pages, how to plot out your budget, how to get your debt snowball going and stuff like that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for now, this is it. This is a little bit about the Dave Ramsey book. They do have in here also out their story about getting out of debt. And so I would, I would listen to the debt-free screams on YouTube, but I would go back and I would read these stories about people that got out of debt to help motivate myself. And it's like, if they can do that, they're no different than me, okay? They're no smarter than me. They don't work any harder than me. Then I can do it too, okay? And you can do it too, all right? You've got everything God has given you to be able to get yourself out of debt, okay? Now, you probably didn't do it in one day, so it's probably not going to happen in one day. It may take a year. For us, it took us just under 3 years. I think it took us like about 32 months to get out of debt, and that was paying over $176,000 in debt, okay? That didn't even include our mortgage. We're still working on the mortgage. So I'll be putting updates on how the mortgage is coming. But you can do this. You can totally, totally do this. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. It's me again. If you want to learn more about getting out of debt, about paper planning, about paper crafting, I like all things paper, weight loss, maybe a little bit of mental health stuff thrown in there, just don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be posting on finances and stuff every Friday. And Wednesdays I'll be posting also probably about weight loss journey. And on Mondays I will try to get some posts up miscellaneous. I'm going to call it Miscellaneous Monday. It'll be, like it says, miscellaneous, a little bit of everything. So, yeah, hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye.